I find myself in a peculiar and pensive mood today. I'm sitting out here enjoying a thunderstorm, and hopefully you can hear me. Oh yeah, I know that. But I was going to tell you about my health medical problem that I have currently. One of the, I've had all kinds of little problems lately, but they come and they go, right? So somehow, and I don't know how, I seem to have torn what I was calling my rotary cuff. Well, rotator cuff is what I just learned that it is. And boy, it hurts. And I spoke with it. I wanted to check this out. I spoke with I just happened to talk to a neighbor today, and I've been troubling with this for some weeks now. Having trouble sleeping, having trouble doing my tasks, and I was never a guy to rush to the doctor about things that bothered me, especially pain. You know, it's just pain is pain, but sometimes it's a warning signal for something serious that you need to get looked at, and I know that, but you know, I've lived through a lot of pain is the deal, and so I didn't concern myself too much with it, and I thought it would heal. Well, anyway, I did some research and looked at where I was hurting, and kind of came to the conclusion that I've torn or injured my rotator cuff, and that's where I need your help. Have you ever injured your rotator cuff? I know some stuff about it now, which I'll share with you. In a little bit of research that I've done, I've learned that there are all manner of different tears, and there are multiple muscles involved in this rotator cuff, and that if you've injured it or torn it, you'll see pictures of guys on the internet when you research this, and they're all reaching right here, which is where, right in here is where my pain is. Oh, mama. And then you'll notice that when you lift your arm up, that's kind of where that ball enters that socket and rotates, right? It's just a ball in a socket. What I learned was the anatomy of this. It's the rotator cuff is a group of muscles and their tendons that stabilize the shoulder, and they give you your range of motion and your stability, you know. And that's really, really important. I think it's like 6-7 muscles maybe. I'm not going to name them all. One of them's the spaculaculus, and one's the asparagus, and I can't remember the names, but you can look that up. And so I think that I have damaged it or injured it, not torn it, not, you know, separated it so bad that I need surgery. And that's where I wanted to talk about my neighbor, and researching this, and hearing people's opinions, and you never know who you're reading when you're reading on these websites. And these people are saying you might need surgery, and I was going to go start looking for different points of view from people who have had these kind of problems. Well, my neighbor is in his 80s, so he's got a little more experience than I have. Life experience. I'm near 60. He's in his 80s, and he said, "Oh boy," he said, "let me tell you something." Oh, cool. He said, "Whatever you do," I said, "just immobilize it. Be careful with it." He said, "Don't get surgery." So there's a point of view, and it's a valid point of view. And I don't know, but when he said that, I said, "Thank you for telling me that. I'm glad to hear that point of view." He said, and again, he's an older guy. He said, "Jay, I've known so many men, so many friends over the years who had surgery, who had the problems, who had injuries to the rotator cuff, who had surgery and regretted it. And some of them were injured by the surgery itself. And many of them said never again. I would never have done that. If I had known now, if I knew then what I knew now, I wouldn't have done it. So look at that. Okay, so I have a problem. I have a little problem. It's just like a little virus got me or something. I have started collecting these knives. I don't know what my deal is. I got one and I had one for many years and I lost it. It was a little National Blade. Very, very small knife. I carry them now. And that's it. I love it. I'm always playing with it and showing it off and threatening people in bars with it, you know, in case somebody comes after me, I have protection. But I had lost one of these and I cherished. I try not to be materialistic, but it was a nice little knife. I grew attached to it over the couple of decades, and I don't know where it is. So I ordered another one. And then guess what I did? After that, I ordered another one in case I lost that one. And then you'll never guess what I did. I ordered a third one. Anyway, this is I would consider a big knife. I've got about 6 or 7 of these now, so I need to stop it. Like anything else, you can become addicted or develop a habit. I don't consider myself a collector. So anyway, back to the rotator cuff. So yeah, my neighbor said, whatever you do, I wouldn't get surgery on it. And I concur, at least for now. But I did, as I've said, develop a relationship with a doctor. I used to not ever go to doctors. And I decided, well, I ought to at least... These frogs are loud. I ought to at least talk to a doctor every now and then, you know, just to have a relationship, to have a baseline on some of these things. So, yeah, I got a blood test. And so I sent my doctor through, they have a health portal, and through that portal I sent a message, and I don't know who's answering those messages, but somebody got right back to me and said, keep an eye on it. And I said, I don't know if I should be seen or not, but this thing hurts, and I don't know if it's slightly injured or torn or what, but I haven't done anything about it, and I'm just wondering if I should be seen. And they said, keep an eye on it and let us know if it doesn't heal. So this is a 50 caliber brass casing for a round that farm girl shot. Well, it might have been on her 50th birthday 6 years ago. She's turning 56 this month. And we have video of her shooting the gun in a bikini. Boy, that made people mad. A lot of people were why would a woman shoot a gun in a bikini? What the hell are you trying to prove? What's going on there? Blah, blah, blah. And I knew it would, so that's why we did it, right? Just to do something different and interesting, right? And some people loved it, and some people hated it. And that's just the kind of thing I like. So anyway, this is well, it obviously doesn't say what grain it was, but she shot the I don't know, what were they, 600 grains of it. She shot the very potent ones. They gave quite a kick, and a lot of grown men. Quiet, frog. Hey. A lot of grown men can't handle that charge, and she did it very well. She handled it very well. So this is. I did a video using some of this. There's a few different brands of this stuff that basically makes metal. You know, you mix these two different colors together. It's a roll. It's gray outer layer and this dark inner layer. One's the primer and one is the whatever, you know. And then so you mix them together until the colors are uniform. So it's a uniform dark gray instead of the light gray and dark gray. It's somewhere in between those two colors. Pretty simple explanation of what to do. Okay, so you play with the dough, Play-Doh, and then once you get a uniform color, you can mold it. And I think I've made way more than I need. I repaired a cell phone with this stuff this morning, and I made a video about that. And so now I am making one of these rounds. Farm Girl sells these on her Etsy site, and now you know how to make them. But the cool thing about this is it was one that Farm Girl shot, and probably in that video, maybe I'll put a link to the video or something, or put a little bit of it over the top of this. So I'm going to take some of this, and you know what I didn't do? I like to scrape the metal inside of here. I'm using the back of this very fine, expensive kitchen knife. It's a Henkel, and I'm kind of scoring this metal so that it has a little tooth in there. I try to do that without stabbing a hole in myself or slicing myself. Just trying to get some scratches in there, and now I'm going to make this look like a bullet. I paste some of that on the interior of this. Oh, here comes the rain. The shell casing. Okay, we kind of pasted some in and around the sides there. Now we'll put this on top. And the idea is to make it about the size of the lead that's a projectile in a bullet. You know what a bullet is? That's the bullet, right? This is the shell casing, and I guess the lead part is the bullet, right? Or the projectile. It's like Mr. Rogers of heavy ammo. Boys and girls. So this gets challenging, and what I learned to do is play with it and mold it and work with it over time, and my technique changes as the substance hardens. Okay, my movements. Right now I'm just sculpting. I'm wiping off, kind of getting a basic shape, and then I'm going to use this to take the stuff off of my hands. I'm going to roll this little ball because it's getting sticky, right? And that helps clean my hands up. Then I'm going to start shaping it with a little, spittle. Sorry, I should have brought out some water, but did you notice I didn't lick the finger that had the chemical or whatever this is. I just introduced it with another finger. Now we're starting to get somewhere. Now these bullets, we're going to make this a round tip bullet. I just kind of rotate it in my hands. I kind of operate like a lathe, you know, or a potter's wheel. You know, very simple motions to get a nice shape to it. See how I'm kind of getting there, and then of course I'm going to clean this thing, and you'll notice that you can start moving it into alignment. You want it to be level, you know, or sorry, plumb with the casing. Oh my, that's looking good already. And I was an artist all my life, so this kind of thing appeals to me. With the plastic or the resin or whatever you want to call it, the hardener doing its job. So this stuff gets to this point where it's kind of hardened, and you can really start to fine tune it. But that's about as far as I'll go with this in this video. And I'll let that set up for a minute. Oh, I know what this is. This is good. I'm going to be sure not to ruin this knife. So this is a part for my boat. I'm going to change my lower unit oil, and I needed this for my Yamaha marine motor. This looks like this sat in somebody's storage building. Look how brittle that plastic is, for 20 years. And that's okay. So that's how, there's an adapter to a fluid pump to pump some fluid lube into my lower unit. If you don't change the lower unit fluid or lubricant, you will damage your lower unit, your motor. It's like your transmission in your car. Okay. All right, that's it, folks. Before I forget, though, about the rotator cuff, the way they test to see if you've actually torn it, like badly, I guess, is they have you put your elbow out, and they're holding your elbow sitting beside you, and they start lowering it, and then they let go of it, and then if you kind of drop it and you can't lower it slow and steady like that, that shows them there's a significant problem. Ow, it hurts like hell. The other thing they do is put your arm up like this, and they move your elbow in and out like this, and they're feeling for damage from behind. I don't know, stuff like that. But generally, and another motion that you can't do if you've injured one or more of the important muscles is to move forward like that. And I can do that. I'm telling you, I have a significant pain, and I can't sleep well sometimes because of this, because I might try to roll onto that side. But I think it's something that's going to heal, and I'm going to let it heal, and I'm not going to intervene with surgery and possibly create more problems. I hope you enjoyed this mundane time with me, and I'm not so pensive anymore. Thanks for joining me. We'll talk soon.